What is up, guys? Neo here, and welcome to the second episode in the Black Eye Cam series. Here, we're going to be starting with a look at Bank, and a little bit later on, we will get to Chalet. Now, as you can see here, we're starting with a downstairs hold here, in the basement area of Bank. I'm showing you here, that wall that I paint is typically reinforced, and that's usually a wall that people will take out. And then the attacker's attention will commonly be drawn to that area. There's usually a mirror window just to the right of that hole I made there. And I'm just going to show you the way that guys will push in. They'll be worried about behind the desk, they'll be worried about the doorway. They're not going to be worried about this area right there with the TVs hanging on the wall. And you can see if they push in through server stairs, same thing, just a little different order of priority. Doorway first. Not by the TVs. So that's a good place to put a black eye cam, because the enemy basically has to turn their back to the areas they worry about if they're going to check for it. As you can see here with the black eye cam up there, you can't see it as you approach the doorway. They've got to expose themselves in order to see that camera. And you can see it right there. Now another camera I like on this map, and this camera, I would not recommend using it if you are holding downstairs. This would be more for an open area or archives hold. And the reason being, I mean, you can see where I threw the camera. If someone's coming downstairs, they're going to see it really easily. But if they're going upstairs, it's much more difficult to see. You actually can't quite get the angle unless you turn around to look. And finally, open area. You could use this one if you're holding downstairs, if you're holding open area, if you're worried about someone breaching through that wall into archives. It works in a few levels. So yeah, attackers say they come in this direction, or they come in through the window, they come in through the hall. It's going to be very difficult for them to spot that unless they have an IQ. But you get a good view of the whole room. You can see them coming in any doorway or window. And if they're watching hatch here, you can see them. With a number of soft walls in there, there's a good chance you could wallbang someone if you catch them off guard.
Secure the bomb.
So here we are, now we are in Teller's office. Now this isn't going to give you a wide field of view, but it will allow you to spot people as they enter through this door, which is pretty common. If people are rushing, they're going to come in through ATM and in through this door, usually. Now again, their attention is going to be drawn to the doorway. Their attention is going to be drawn to this desk here, where it's pretty common to have someone vault up and hold an angle. And you can also use it to your advantage, because if they manage to get the plant and they're holding that angle, you're going to be able to see them. So here we are in lobby. Now you can throw that cam lower. You can throw it right on that speaker and it will camouflage a bit better. As well, if you throw your camera on the speaker, if they spot it and shoot the speaker but not the camera will still function. The camera has to physically be shot. It won't be damaged by the fall. Yeah, you can see they're going to come in through ATM. They're going to shoot the camera. They may or may not look up in that corner. They're probably going to be more worried about loan office, upstairs, Teller's office. And you can see if they come from the other direction, they're coming upstairs, down, around to Teller's. For whatever reason, you have a guy in ATM or loan office, they're going to be worried about those angles, they're going to be worried about the standard cam. They're not going to be worried so much about the very corner of the room. As you can see, the pillar actually does block quite a bit of your field of view.
15 seconds.
And finally here on the little stock tickers, that's a very well concealed camera, and it gives you full view of Skylight Stairwell. As you can see, you get full view into the blue stairs. So those are some of my favorite cameras I've had some success with on Bank. Now, I know that was pretty quick, but if we move here to Chalet, Yeah, threw that one a little bit prematurely there. The round hadn't started. But what I'm going to show you here is you need to be careful if you're going to throw this camera, because you can throw it right off the map and you don't get a black eye camera. That's just wasted utility. So you can get an angle if you're careful, but what I like to do is just throw it right up there. You get the view you need, and you can see anyone who's trying to push in through garage there. So in a second we'll take you outside and I'll show you what it looks like from that side.
You have entered an enemy controlled area. Leave now. You have been spotted.
So they're likely to come push from either this direction or the east side. But in either case, if they happen to look up here, they're going to be able to tell that the windows have been shot out. The camera itself is still somewhat difficult to see. Now we're back inside and you can see with your view you're able to throw your nitro cell outside. You can see it there by the far snowmobile. And you can play around with your throw, your distances, your angles, and figure out where exactly you want that to land. So here we're in trophy room. Whether you are defending it or not,
10 seconds.
it's a pretty common area to push from. So you just put it up above the window there on the east side. Remember, they can't breach in the west side window, only the east side.
Secure.
Gives you a good view. Anyone coming in or out. Now this spot here, just before we go to the next camera, I wanted to show you, if you whack this, this gives you a good view of the whole dining and kitchen area. So that'd be a good spot for maybe a maestro turret or a bulletproof camera. Here in the great room, and if anyone has seen, I think it was Fabian who used this as a drone location in Pro League. You can do the same thing with a valk cam. It's very difficult to see. So you can see downstairs, upstairs, difficult to see. I'm going to struggle to knock this door, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the outside. It's still very difficult to see. There it is there. Now, the only trouble with this camera is you can't actually see anyone outside. But you do get a good view of the whole upstairs, into library, the two hallways, as well as the downstairs. And finally, master bedroom. Pretty common for guys to push in from here, especially if you are defending in trophy room or even the downstairs. Sometimes they'll push in just because they know that's safe there. So guys, one thing to keep in mind: do not spot with your black eye cameras. It'll make them super easy to spot, especially if you're still on them. Because remember, when you're on them, they're not easy to conceal. They are a bright blue. Very easy for the enemy to pick out, no matter how well you hide them. And of course, no matter how well you hide any of them, an IQ will be able to use her gadget and dispatch them with ease. Now remember, the gold, silver ranks, you don't typically see a whole lot of IQ, which is why a lot of these spots are more viable at this skill level than they are at the higher levels. For that matter, you don't see valk a whole lot at this skill level, which I don't really understand. I know I'm not playing valk in the gameplay here. I'm playing bandit because we had a Mira. I thought they might bring a Habana, but valk is so good at giving information. You can see like all the pings we're getting, and that's just with the standard cameras. So just imagine what you could do with 3 extras. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. If you disliked it, please hit that thumbs down. Thank you so much for your time guys, and I will see you in the next one.